What's going on, guys? In this month's episode of the Swift MFB podcast, we have a guest with us named FriedPasta.
I do be named that.
Yep, you guys might also know him as the leader of the Ray Gill cult.
I am the Ray Gill, bruh.
But yeah, that is basically it. I'm actually not going to plug my store because it just seems too cringe now. Okay,
You advertisements.
Exactly. All right, so to get started, I guess we can just go over our recent purchases. If I don't care who goes first.
You go first.
Okay. So the only thing I've bought for myself is I got a BB10 from Bai, and it came in, and it is in excellent condition. And it got delivered on President's Day, so I was very confused but very happy. And then the other thing I bought isn't Beyblade related, but kind of Beyblade related. I got a new chair for my desk, an ergo chair. That is it.
That's great.
That
man.
is hype.
Your
for
back
real.
is gonna love you.
My back is going to be so much better. It's going to allow me to ship out
Faster.
orders 50 times faster.
Bro, that's even more cringe than the plug.
Make higher quality Beyblade content. Okay, you can go next, Dan.
Okay, let me think real quick.
I didn't know you were capable of that.
I know. I'm a bit surprised myself. Beyblade wise, I mean, I paid for a scan of the BB10 and I am paying for modeling of it for a tool to vacuum form more. Well, it's not a BB10, I should say. It's just something that's eerily similar.
Yeah, it's the Dan 10 Stadium. The
Yeah.
DD10.
So, yeah, that's it. Oh, some burst stuff. Yeah, just some burst stuff.
Yeah, you don't even need to specify on that.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, FriedPasta?
So I have quite a bit to cover because my birthday was like a month ago.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
You too, fam.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, the stuff I got was I got a Hasbro Samurai Pegasus for like only $50 with like a mint R2F. So that's really good.
Pegasus is
Been
hard
wanting
to
a
get nowadays.
non-mid fake Pegasus
Yeah.
for a while. I also I got a Hasbro Beat Links because I've been hearing the hype for Hasbeat, which my thoughts on the wheel are that it's pretty cool. It hits very high, but realistically, it's not higher than like A tier at the very most.
Yeah.
But though surprisingly, like I felt like because of the shape, it would have way better attack versus attack, but it just gets bodied.
Yeah.
I also bought Barricade Lucifer finally, but that's U-Burst.
Mm-hmm.
I got a red Samurai Changer, which that's just a recolor I really like, so I was happy to get one of those. Then, with like just some money I had, I bought some stuff off of Bay Supply, which are I got the Clear Gravity Perseus Stamina, Aurora Ray Unicorno, Galaxy Cancer, Divine Fox, a lot of stuff that's just because I want really cool recolors. Cyber Aquario. And then from Swift here, I bought a Black String Left launcher and a Clear BD145 and a Purple RF.
Right on.
I think
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think that about covers it for my purchases.
I did want to throw out there, I actually did just purchase a Divine Fox as well for that clear W2D.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I usually don't buy stuff for myself, like Beyblade-wise anymore, but I didn't even know that thing existed until, like, a couple weeks ago, when you showed me Pasta, I think. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I also just needed, like, a new W2D in general.
And
Because
the clear is,
the
like,
other
so
one is
sick.
worn. Yeah.
All right, what about you, Cake? Because I actually know of, like, one thing you bought at least.
Yes, yeah, because I also bought from Swift MFB. I bought also a Hasbro Beat, also looking into the hype for that. My review, it's mid. It does hit high. It hits remarkably not that great on the side, and had surprisingly poor stamina for what I was expecting out of it. I rate 6 out of 10. Still like Vulcan more.
Yeah.
But and then I also got some string launchers in questionable states of repair because I need more backup parts for my LR, and some metal faces.
Right on. So, honestly, everybody bought some stuff. Lately, I feel like it's been like, we haven't really bought anything. But this time it was quite a bit of stuff, actually. So, since it's been about a month since our last episode, what have you guys been up to?
Not much, bro.
Just chilling?
Preparing for Anime North.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. If you guys don't know, huge shout out to Dan. He is the one in charge of it, putting on Anime North or Beyblade North this year. So, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, the threads go up tomorrow, so
Nice.
you can
Nice.
sign up. Yeah,
And there is a cap, so
there is always
only
a cap.
sign up if you know you can go. Don't steal somebody's spot if you can't go. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. What have you been up to, Pasta and Cake?
In terms of Beyblade related stuff, I haven't really done much because tournaments have been. I don't know. There hasn't been.
It's cold season, so.
Yeah, it's been kind of dead over here.
I know you just got back
like
from somewhere pretty warm, though.
Yeah, went to Miami this weekend. Flew back this morning. Pretty cool city. Would recommend. There are like chickens that walk around on the streets, and that's really funny.
I thought you were gonna say chicks.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the chickens are better.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting take.
Yes. And yeah. I'll probably start like discussing some Metal Fight hosting and with some other Maryland hosts though soon. So
Right on.
I really want to get some normal Metal Fight Limited running, a test event with like Dark Knight and Libra, 4D. Yeah, I just want to run all the Metal Fight formats.
All the fun stuff, yeah.
Soon.
Right on. What about you, Cake? Have you been up to anything?
Well, I've been kind of warming up again and shifting back into playing Beyblades again after, cold months and stuff.
Yep.
And then also, I literally just before we started recording got back from getting a venue secured for a event in March that Jay and I are going to co-host.
Nice,
So
nice. Where's
that's
it
gonna
going to
be
be
cool.
at?
There is a card store and tattoo shop in in Warsaw that I've been patronizing a little bit as I've been engaging in my other money burning hobby of Magic the Gathering lately.
Right.
So they've got tables, so we're gonna use a couple of them on an upcoming Saturday and run an event. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
exciting.
Let's go. I'll be at that one.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's some great news right there. And I also know you just got back from a tournament.
Yes, yeah.
So, but we'll cover that later. So, yeah. I haven't done really anything. Serena and I have been going out and taking pictures of birds a lot, like every day. But that's basically been it.
Like geese.
Geese and swans and hawks. I don't know. Any bird we see.
Shout out Dank for the
Shout out
geese.
Dank. I've been trying to find squirrels. I want to get some cute squirrel pictures, but
Those aren't birds.
bro, if you add wings to them, they are. So okay, so moving on to the next topic. So this is actually pulled from my podcast topic idea thread, and I thought this one was pretty good since Burst is coming to an end, and MFB has been gaining some more traction. And the question was, or the thing that they wanted us to talk about was, what are some tips for new MFB players coming over from Burst? So I thought each of us could give like one tip, and
Okay.
yeah.
I kind of want to give like two because the first one is just really hyper specific to like one part.
Right on.
But yeah, so the first one that's really specific is bearing drive is mid. Just and especially on Meteo. It is not good on Meteo. And it also is horrible defensively, is at an awkward height. Just you don't need to use that. It is not nearly as good in MFB as it is in Burst. At least for limited. It's
put away
it's
your
pretty good
bearing
in standard, but
Fafnir.
not
like
as good. Yeah. Then for the other thing, I'd say just height matchups are like really big. Just gotta learn your height matchups because they affect everything, not just stamina. You have attack affected, defense affected, everything.
Yeah, I think those are some good points because new players coming from Burst might not realize that because basically Meteo is like, when he says bearing drive is bad on Meteo is essentially Vanish in Burst Standard, where you can put any stamina tip on there and it will do pretty good. But it's so much different in MFB, just with like the weight distribution and the height especially. So yeah, that was a really good tip right there. All right.
Yeah, like
go ahead.
I got to double down on, seriously, height matchups are like everything in MFB. Like Burst has bursting as its alternative win condition. Height matchups are basically as important in MFB as, well, more so than bursting is in Burst. Like, unironically, like they shape how the type triangles work out hugely. I cannot stress enough how important height matchups are. And then also, in MFB, rubber tips for defense and stamina, or not defense and stamina, defense and attack are basically mandatory. Like, you cannot get away with a defensive combo that is not on a rubber tip. It's gonna die.
Yeah, that's also very important to know.
Yeah.
Everyone was picking height. Like, yeah, I was going to say that too, honestly. Height is fundamental to MFB, but if I have to pick something else, then honestly, learn how to use attack, because it's very different than how it is in Burst. And the stadium itself that you end up playing with is a completely different environment. So I think maybe that alone, you should remember that depending on what stadium you're playing in, the entire game changes, and it's very different from Burst.
Exactly. Like
The Burst standard, I should say,
yeah. Yeah. So I guess my tip will be a little different since you guys covered mainly the gameplay aspects. I covered this on Zanky's podcast the other day, but for new players coming from Burst to MFB, I know that it was really easy for you to buy brand new Burst products. I highly recommend either using a proxy service, so buying straight from Japan if you can. Just beware of shipping fees or import fees depending on what country you are. And then if you're not able to use a proxy service, I highly recommend buying used from reputable sellers, because it will be so much cheaper, and then the chances of it being a mid fake are significantly lower than if you buy brand new. Because if you buy brand new in box, the chances of it being a mid fake is like 99%. So yeah, when you're looking to get into MFB, I highly just recommend the second hand market for that.
New in box mid fake is like non mid fake is also like way more expensive than used.
So definitely not worth it. It's not worth spending $40 on or $50 on a new unboxed Dark Cancer when you can get a used one for like $17.
Yeah, and for the most part, MFB parts don't wear that fast, like except for rubber tips, but rubber tips got a lot more re-releases, so you have a lot of avenues to get lots of copies of those.
Yep.
Even then, those still don't wear as fast as they do in burst because the bays aren't as heavy.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from the tips now, we are getting into events, and ironically, I'm the only one who hasn't been to an event in a little while. So let's start with Dan in Toronto. I know you guys hosted a couple test events. Do you want to tell us what those were and how those went?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. We had an event. Well, we actually had two events, but we had one event recently for the use of Libra and Metal Fight Limited to, I guess, basically test what I had thought to be true and what many other people thought to be true, which is that we've reached a point in the game where you can introduce that wheel without it being something that is necessary to play. You don't need the Libra wheel because we've gotten to a point where there's just so many avenues and roads we've discovered since it got banned so long ago that it would be supplemental at this point. And the event itself went well. I gave people a whole bunch of Libra combos to use of varying molds because not everybody has it to begin with. And it went pretty okay. There are some clear weaknesses to it, and there are some clear strengths too, so it's worth using. But yeah, it went well.
That's awesome. I saw one of the combos you guys were talking about was Libra CH120 RB, I think it was.
Yeah, that one's okay. I just kind of...
Or maybe was it CH120 RF? Maybe?
Yeah, RF's much better.
Okay, yeah, I think that was what it was then.
Probably.
Right on. So, yeah, I'm wanting to test a limited event with Libra back in as well because I was never around for that time, so I never got to witness it.
Me 3.
You'll find that its strengths are basically stuffing attack types on RF and being better than Earth against Meteo, but then worse than Earth against basically anything else. Well, actually, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Attack in particular, it's really bad compared to Earth.
Yeah,
Right.
It's more recoily.
Yeah.
That helps in some cases, hurts in others. Depends on the combo.
It really does.
Well, cool. I'm happy that went well. And did anybody record that event, or I guess Zanky didn't go, did he?
No, he had to not show up because of weather. Yeah, Belly recorded, but I don't think she released anything.
Okay,
I don't know.
right on. Then Cake.
Did you find the mold 3 combos or like the molds 1 and 2 combos to do generally better?
Oh, if we can talk about that, I guess. Mold 1s I'm gonna avoid using because they break easier. So realistically, your only options are mold 2, which also can break, and mold 3, which isn't really gonna break, but it has a worse underside. For Mold 3, you can use it for stamina, but then it's basically like glorified burn, which is to say it's not too great, but it happens to be good against Meteo. And then Mold 2 is more well-rounded, where you could have it rival Earth, but be a bit better or a bit worse depending on matchup. So that's kind of a big difference. For RF-based combos, like there's no way. Like I would never use Mold 2. You should use the reinforced Mold 3 for sure.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah, because you would be using that underside. That would be a bit more of an advantage with the RF.
Oh, for sure. It's not really that great at KOing stuff that isn't another attack type, but the little underside kind of helps. There's maybe a chance.
Right on. So, moving on, Cake also just got back from 2 events in Indiana. How did those go for you? And what are the formats that you guys played?
Yeah, so our first event was just basic Metal Fight Limited, and then our second event was ended up being club format 4D. And both of those were entirely played as deck, both first and second stage. And yeah, so initially I went into limited trying out some goofier things, as I want to do. And let's see. Like I was playing my first round I played an all 230 height deck, like as a joke. Well, not really 230 because there was a TH170 in there. And it almost went catastrophically bad for me, because obviously if you bump into the wrong combo, or if you run into middle height attack, then you're just kind of hosed. And so obviously everyone was going to bring middle height attack. Let's see. So then immediately I switched off to, so what I was testing was, Think has been, has changed my mind a little bit on Fire Fuse. Hasbro's Fusion is a raised wheel similar to Flame, because they just deleted the bottom half off of it. Instead of giving it rubber, they just get rid of it. So it ends up being a tall wheel like Flame is, but unlike Flame, the underside is just absolutely smooth. So it ends up being a little bit worse in terms of stamina. It's not quite as heavy. It doesn't have quite as good weight distribution. But in exchange, it's harder to KO. So I was running that on TH170 CS. And then I was fooling around with Virgo on 230 whole flat sharp. And then for the remainder of the goofball 230 deck, I was running Jade 230 for my quote attacker. So I immediately ditched Jade for lightning, low lightning, and then went with that. And then over the course of the rest of the tournament, I started playing smarter and playing better.
Yeah, I was keeping up with the challenge, and I saw that you started off really bad.
Yeah.
And then I looked back and you were 7-2, and I was like, okay, so his first 2 losses were at the very beginning, and then you smarted up.
Yeah, I was joking around, and then I switched over to playing serious. My deck was for most of the tournament. It was. I finally managed to get good results out of the Metal Face Heavy, Gravity Perseus, R145 CF. I've been trying to make this thing work because it has really good matchups on paper, but it's hard to execute with it. And finally, this tournament, my abilities were actually on deck enough that I was getting good results out of it. I was KOing Flame 230, picked up some other weird KOs with it, outspun stuff because CF. And so I was playing that, low lightning for another attacker that also tends to beat other attack, and then sticking with Fire Fuse as my last combo as a not Flame 230. and I basically played only that deck for the remainder of the tournament, including in finals. I finally choked with Gravity during finals and just completely screwed up my initial finals match, and so I ended up taking 4th place, which was really a shame because I was doing beautifully with Gravity up until throughout first stage as soon as I started using it, and then just completely blew it in finals. So I ended up taking 4th, but I was pretty happy with the comeback that I made as soon as I started playing sensibly instead of goofily.
What color of CF are you using?
Oh, yes. That is a certified Swift hot deal. It is a bright orange clear CF.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe it was working because it's the swag points.
It was a very swag because I had the gold Gravity, the Super Vortex metallic orange Perseus, and then standard orange R145 and the bright orange CF. So it was very, very loud colors.
I see that coming from a true JoJo fan. Yeah, that I was really bummed out. For anybody who didn't know, I was actually planning on carpooling down with Cake's brother to that event. And then just some things came up and I was just busy, and then we had a snowstorm 2 days before, and it said we were in a winter storm warning until Friday evening, which didn't end up happening. So I ended up canceling on going to that on Thursday, which I needed the rest, but I did wish I was able to go because it looked like it was a whole lot of fun. But yeah, so Cake, actually, I saw that you lost in finals to Razor Storm, who is one of Indiana's young up and comers, who took for you guys who you guys might remember, he was the kid that used the ripcord launcher through the whole first tournament he went to, and he ended up getting 4th place. He went like undefeated in first stage and then lost in deck, as new players generally do. But he switched to a string launcher, I believe, and looks like he did better in deck.
Yep, yeah, he was doing string launcher throughout the tournament. He made some joking comments about switching back to ripcord, but he stuck with it, and he did well.
Yeah, it's really cool to see because just seeing him, how active he's been getting in the Discord servers, just talking about combos and like testing, has been really cool to see that it's his testing has been paying off and he's doing good.
Yeah.
So always love to see that. And then shout out to Cake's brother, who almost didn't get a go because I messaged him saying, look, like, I'm sorry, man, we're not able to go anymore. And it worked out because his family was there to bring him. But and he ended up winning the whole thing. So another classic JA Industries choke.
Jesus Christ.
You're so mean.
No, it's the joke because he won.
I know.
Yeah. He said that once he wins, he wants to be a guest on the podcast, and I thought this was gonna be the one.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I was actually in a call with Dan, Pasta, and Dank the other day. And when I looked at the results, I was like, I wonder what Basalt used. And we were predicting when I saw that he won, and I was like, I'm just gonna guess that he was using some sort of Gorim combo, a like Pegasus combo, some jank, like weird stuff. And then I saw that he used 2 attack though in his.
Yeah. No, he was playing serious. He was not Goriuming, regrettably, but
I mean, but like he was still using 2 attack, which is really impressive.
Oh, and that there wasn't the Gorum, but
yeah, tragic.
Yeah.
Cake's I'm pretty sure Cake's the only one who's lost to the Gorum.
It's probably true. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny.
I loved a little while back. Somebody was like in I think the Swift Chord and was like, so is Gorium like actually good? Like I saw like someone win with it, and then he immediately comes in. He's like, no, it's actually terrible, but I think it's funny.
Yeah, he did make a channel, a YouTube channel. I don't think he's uploaded, but it's called like Gorium Gaming, or something. Like he commented on one of the videos. Dude, it's so. I hope he starts making like satire. content. That would be so great. Was something the Beyblade community needs. But yeah, congratulations to Basalt Spam. He's been doing pretty good lately.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that he's a very serious attack user. He likes his attack a lot. So then the other format you guys played was 4D. How did that one go?
Yeah, so I went undefeated in our little round robin. You know, it was
Still, I mean,
people,
I saw the combos you were using, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so my deck was let's see, I think I had the Metal Face Heavy on Metal Face Heavy, Basalt Kerbex, BD145 RF, Metal Face Flash Orion CH120 LRF, Metal Face Light Wing Unicornio 285 Metal Flat. And so we had a conspicuous lack of Diablo in my deck.
Yeah, I instantly noticed that you had no Diablo.
Yeah, so Basalt BD145 slaps. Like, it is a angry combo. I'm sure you probably remember Swift when we were testing with Zanky at last Anime North.
Oh yeah.
And it just annihilated the Flash.
Didn't it make his combo explode? His Flash combo explode?
I don't know if it exploded, but it definitely got sent flying.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so it was doing more of that. Bopping Flash, bopping Diablo, actually KO'd some like low stamina that I didn't expect because it's just enormously fat and, you know, throwing its weight around. So that was like my main combo, but then obviously I'd Flash in case someone tried to pull 230 stuff, and Wing on MF to have a little bit of defense, but also be able to stall out if someone else brought a defender, because otherwise my deck was entirely things with completely garbage stamina.
Just for clarity, Wing on low track Metal Flat is kind of like a nerfed Baku MF.
Yeah.
Just so for the people who didn't know.
Yeah, and I had it in 0 mode, so like
the balanced mode.
Defensive, yeah. And higher stamina, yeah, because I didn't want it to be unbalanced and, you know, losing stamina immediately. And yeah, so that deck was good. I felt like all the combos were carrying their weight. I didn't feel like any of them were dead weight. Basalt was obviously the most used just because it shuts down Flash and it shuts down Diablo.
What was on your Basalt combo again? BD145, then what was the tip?
Rubber Flat.
Rubber Flat, okay. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So it's just huge and extremely angry. And yeah. And so without Diablo BD145 around, there was a lot more opportunity to stick your BD145 on other combos and be able to, you know, actually play other combos.
Right.
Because, yeah, you don't have some, like, 70-gram monster flying around with, like, all of the stamina and all of the attack and all of the defense. Well, not really all the stamina, but enough.
It's heavy enough to where it takes less damage.
Yeah, just raw weight and power. Yeah, so Basalt was not unbeatable by any means, because it's, you know, smaller than Diablo, not nearly as aggressive as Diablo. Did a lot of the same things. Again, basically what I've said it's supposed to do as compared to Diablo when I made the update post for the ban list. Like, it does a lot of the same defensive things, but it's not as good offensively. As then you have Flash to cover the pure offense, and then Wing for defense stamina.
Right on. And so besides the combos that you were using, what would you say was the most prominent other combos?
Lots of Diablo R145. Fair amount of death defense, I think. Lots of other experimental stamina types. I think the lesson that I'm learning more and more is that pure stamina is exceedingly risky in this format because so many things have some attack power.
Yeah. Your brother ran Phantom on low track wide defense, right? Or WTD?
Yes, he did. Yeah. So maybe it's you know, the meta's not ironed out at all yet. but so maybe the stamina types are more viable than I'm giving them credit for. But like I KO'd what was it? I think I KO'd a death combo with my wing, even though it's not in an properly attacky mode. It just kind of did it.
That's impressive.
It was stamina. It was stamina. It was like death BD or something.
I mean, still, like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So just things in 4D are extremely powerful in general, and so matchups are very exciting.
Yeah. It seemed really fun. I wish I could go.
Yeah, I wish you were there.
Yeah. Do you know what format you're gonna be hosting alongside it? Because Jay's doing Burst, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Which is kind of obligated for the World Cup or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming. Okay, go ahead.
I'm probably gonna do limited. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a Libra and Dark Knight test event. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see.
Right on. Yeah, that will be fun. I will for sure be there for the MFB event. All right. So with the 4D on the brain, let's go on to. I've seen quite a bit of different opinions on 4D recently.
Yes.
In the WBO chat. I'd like to point out quickly that 4D wasn't created to be a repeat of Limited as far as like diverse meta goes. It was meant more to be, well, at least in my opinion, it was meant more to be, there's kind of like a type triangle, and then there's the things that excel really well in those types, and you kind of pick and choose from there. Kind of like HMS and Burst GT. So yeah, did any of you guys want to speak on that? Because I know there's been some people saying they don't like 4D.
Because it's simply not possible to make 4D into what Limited is, because there aren't enough options that even exist within
literally a
that
fraction of
space.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this was something that I was talking about, like what you were saying, with Basalt on the way when we're doing all of our many drives around to attend our events. But each of the combos or each of the wheels that exist in 4D are very distinctive. Much more so than with Limited, where you have like a million different flavors of attack, and you can find the exact minute combination of attributes that you like. Versus in 4D, you have Flash and you have Diablo, and they are very different. With what you get out of them, and very distinct. So it's not as much where in Limited you can have, I don't know, what's an example? Like, okay, so Vulcan versus Hasbeat doing very similar things with very similar designs, and then depending on the time of day and phase of the moon or whatever, maybe you like one or the other more. Versus in 4D, it's very simplified. There are a handful of wheels that are very good at what they do, that have very distinct roles, and you pick those wheels, and then everything else in terms of customization comes after that.
Right.
Yeah. The only type that, like, surprisingly has, like, a pretty good spread of options is defense and anti-attack.
Yeah.
Like, you have Diablo, Basalt, Wing, Scythe, Death. Like, everything else, there's pretty much just... For attack, you're playing Flash. Otherwise, that's just not optimal. For stamina, you're going, like, Death or Phantom. Maybe one of the El Dragos.
I do still need to test El Drago Guardian BD145 Gigaflat.
It's good.
Yeah.
Really good. It's the only way you should be playing it, actually.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about it.
And I want to use the Hasbro rubber. I'm not sure if you've tested that, Dan.
Yeah, I did. That's what makes it
Like super
the
good.
only
Yeah, if you
way.
guys don't
Yeah.
know, like Gigaflat is a tip that's generally memed on. It's good in 0G, but it's literally just what it says, Gigaflat. So it's usually pretty bad. Can't stall with it, but it has an insane amount of LAD. So on the combo like El Drago Guardian with Hasbro Rubber and BD145, it allows it to kind of like actually work. So that's one combo I really want to test out some more.
Ooh, yeah. Same.
Really good. Really good. Like, you can't count it out versus attack even, because Gigaflat's really aggressive if you want to make it
Yeah,
do its
and
thing.
like you like honestly with the like the soft rubber, you can light launch it and it will just pick up spin.
Yeah, and Guardian's a pretty tanky wheel to begin with, so.
Unfortunately, I gave my spare one to Dan, so
I know, that sucks. Here I am talking about it.
I know.
But yeah, seriously, really good. You got to use it. It's really strong. It's not being used, but I will tell you right now. I'll say it. It is way stronger than anyone here is going to give it credit for right now. It's bonkers.
Yeah, I needed to. I've seen some things. I can imagine that it's really good, but I haven't tested it to make an opinion.
Yeah, I haven't tried it that much. I'm excited to hear that.
Maybe our next testing session, Cake.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I'll have to run 4D at my next event.
Yeah, I did get a new Gigaflat. Or not new, but I got a big lot, and it was just a random piece in there, and I was so happy because I've been trying to track down just a Gigaflat that wasn't like because like the real, what does it come on, Gladiator Bahamdia? That one's like expensive to get, like a real one, even used. So
I mean, there's a Hasbro one on Amazon.
Yeah, but the Hasbro one is lighter and the plastic's different. That's the one I have now, but now I have a TT one, so I don't know. It probably doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm definitely excited to try that out though, because I am
that's a spicy combo.
I am like the main person repping Guardian a lot of the time. Like, I don't see many people using the El Dragos.
Yeah, I know Abelia was really hype on them, and then when we were
Kay did this.
Well, no, I know Kay did this, but Abelia was really hype on the whole El Drago Destroy on W2D.
I know, and it turns out it's not even the good one. It's actually the worst of the two by a lot.
Can you not use El Drago Destroy on BD145 Gigaflat?
I mean, you could.
I mean, Guardian will do better, obviously, but...
Well, I think it depends. If you get the, no joke, what's it, like there's this yellow one, there's a yellow recolor that isn't completely nerfed from Hasbro.
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty heavy, so it can put in work, same as Guardian.
Oh, right on. I might have
similar.
I might have to cannibalize one of my collection pieces for the sake of testing.
You could probably find one cheap, actually.
It's so shiny.
Yeah, the hope isn't lost if you don't have Guardian. You can use that.
Yeah.
That El Drago in particular, that Destroy.
Okay, right on. So
that one is also like one of the cheaper Spark FX space, though, at least. Like
Spark FX Hyperblades.
And then you still also get the Hasbro rubber with it.
Yeah, you get the one. You get the green rubber.
Snot. Cake likes snot colored things.
You need the green rubber.
Well, have you tried the blue rubber too?
No. Is it good?
It's Hasbro. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, but I've heard that green is the softest out of all of them.
I have both, and they're the same.
Anyone have orange here?
I have orange as well.
Yeah, I've got the...
Like, I don't know. I feel like they all feel very similar.
Yeah, I think they're similar. I think my green's better, though.
Sick.
I just have a blue one, and it's neat.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You know, at the end of the day, at least we have a Hasbro one, and all the people who only collect TT get good.
That's true. I think
all those Hasbro haters out there get good.
Oh yeah. Add that to the list of things to know from Burst players.
Oh yeah,
Hasbro and MFB is goated. Like
it's very good.
Reinforced RF.
You like
Soft or RF?
you get so many more recolors. You get so many more parts. Yeah, it's just
And like Meteo is like Takara
not
and
all
Hasbro
Meteos.
is night and day.
Yeah, like one that I can guarantee will be soft is the Hasbro Legends Meteo. Every single one that I've gotten of that, and then that other people I know have gotten of that one has been very soft. Same with the black and red one has been very soft. Every one I've got, but the gold one, the gold and silver, I've gotten like 3 of them that are like terrible rubber that feel like the like TT ones. So
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, there's it's like I'm telling you, like the first wave, the early wave of that one was like hard rubber, and like the later wave is when they switched to that soft like rubber. Like maybe the rubber, like the stickier rubber, is cheaper.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I had people telling me that the gold ones are like, oh man, they're always the softest. But no, like in my experience, they're like literally a 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know about early versus late releases, but of the 4 that I've seen in somebody's like collection, it's been 2 and 2. So take that anecdote as you will.
Dang. Mine's good.
Yeah, like I mean, like I have good gold ones and bad gold ones. I sold the bad gold ones because there's
Oh
literally
my
no point for them. It's an ugly recolor.
Yeah, it's not very pretty.
I'm sorry for anybody who thinks it's a good recolor. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Toxic. All right, so yeah, basically we kind of got off topic a little bit, but not really because it's all 4D. But 4D is not for everybody. If you guys are looking for a more diverse, like brain focused format, go play Limited. That is gonna be your mainstay combo or format. But if you're looking for something just to have fun and you want the type triangle to work and be super cool, then 4D is your go-to. It's so fun.
Yeah. 4D is not very deep. It's just a very fun Unga Bunga attack format.
Yeah, it like attack is very strong, but that's like I don't know, like that's why some people won't like it, some people will. All I can say, I guess, is get good.
It's new. Gotta give it time. Like even cake.
Yeah,
showed that
exactly.
you
It's
can-
literally
you
brand
can take
new.
it places.
Dude, people already think that 40 is solved. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I think honestly, you guys are selling it short. With I
Me
think
too,
it's
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
brain than than a lot of people give it credit for. I think the big thing is you can't be quite as expressive with your combo choice as you can in Limited, because again, you don't have 11 billion different attack types to choose from or whatever, and 11 million stamina types and like half a dozen defenders. But like with 4D, I think the feel that I've been getting is that one, with the combos being very specific in what they do, there's a lot more focus on being good at your launch techniques and knowing how to play and build around your decks. Like, so if you're more focused on, I just want to play Beyblade to launch tops and like play the game, and you're not quite as much of a deck building, combo creating fiend, 4D might be more up your alley, versus if you want to be like creating some screwball combo that nobody's seen before, that's probably the Limited thing.
Like you can literally run screw on ball in Limited.
Yeah.
You can do it in 4D too.
Yo, I'm surprised Abelia hasn't
New
brought that
meta?
one up yet.
I know. Soon. Next video.
True. But yeah, no, yeah, Cake is right. 4D is still new. Like at the end, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I think it proves when we saw Cake's winning combo list, none of that was like mainstay 4D stuff that we would see in general. Besides
Yeah.
Flash, but
Yeah, like that's just a generic Flash combo,
it's
but
just
you know.
Flash. But like otherwise, like Basalt, like is clearly still has a use, and that's not even a 4D Beyblade. Then you have Wing, which has become a bit easier to obtain. Getting them used in the US, even like just from like US resellers, has gone down quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's encouraging
Yeah.
because it's a cool wheel. I like how it looks. I like how it
It really
performs.
does have good defense.
Yeah,
Clearly, like it's not comparable with like Death, but I don't know. Wing is a very cool wheel.
yeah, it looks very pretty too. Such a shame that it comes with like this weird indented red ball tip.
The mid fake one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mid fake one is also usable, but yeah, 40 is good. I really encourage everybody to give it a try. If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's what we have limited for, is because that's what everybody loves. But yeah,
And ultimately, like, regardless of what you think of 4D, if you want to play with 4D wheels, that's your format. Like,
exactly. So yeah, did anybody else have anything they wanted to say about 4D?
It's good. Give it time. It needs time. We can't just like convince ourselves that, or have such a huge ego that we figured it out in under a year.
yeah,
There's more
I figured
nuance.
it out day one. It's called Ray Gill 100 RSF.
I mean, other than the obvious, yeah.
yeah. Hail Gil.
Oh no.
100 R2F.
All right. So moving on then, I wanted to announce that I apologize for the lack of uploads. Dan and I will be partnering here shortly on bringing some higher quality competitive metal fight videos. Because Dan is very, if you guys don't know, you can check out his channel. It's WBO Dan. But he does very high quality testing videos for MFB. So
Yeah, everybody likes to hear Swift's voice, so you're gonna get some of that too.
yeah, like I think the format we're gonna break it down as is I will cover the parts or the stuff, and then Dan will put in the work.
Hey, you're doing your own work. You get to explain it.
Yeah. I get to do it in the Swift dumbed down version, you know.
Everything in these videos, like, there's a purpose behind them always, and he'll explain that.
Yeah, I will explain, like, even if it's as dumb as why people use the wings on Wing 145 or Wing 105 or whatever.
It's because they look really cool.
That, you know, like the drip factor. It's all about the drip in MFB.
I think the wings are just to fly.
How else is it going to do its Star Blast attack, right?
It's like a ricer. It adds like an additional like 20 horsepower.
Right on. All right. So,
Because fun fact, if you use DF 105 instead of Wing 105, because there's 4 wings instead of 2, you actually like double the speed of your combo. This is a real fact, 100% true.
okay. All right. So, this is not Beyblade related, but it's a genuine question I have for you guys, which I thought would still, like, people might want to hear this still. But what are your guys' honest opinions? And I don't even know if Dan can answer this one. Maybe Cake and Pasta can't, and it will only be me giving my thoughts. Do you guys like Qdoba or Chipotle more?
I haven't been to like either in a while, but like I think I'll just say Qdoba. I think I like that one more. I think Chipotle is just like really overrated.
I see.
I've never been to
Not because
either.
it's
What?
not because it's not bad. I'll say that. It's just
Chipotle's
like
good.
there
Like,
are people who will treat it like the second coming of Ray Gill.
like I don't. I had Chipotle the other day. Like, Qdoba is my favorite, like fast food Mexican place. So, but I had Chipotle the other day because it's closer to where I live, and I was like, I'm gonna try that, and like it was good, but Qdoba is so much better. Cake, I'll have to take you
Yeah.
to Qdoba next time you're over.
Qdoba also just has like better queso.
Oh, so good. Dan, do you even have these in Canada?
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
The fuck's a Qdoba?
You don't know what Qdoba is?
No.
Bro, it's like better Chipotle.
Okay, but like, you're talking about all these fast food Mexican places, but you don't even mention the best one.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, low key, the quesadillas there, they kind of slap. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure food.
I honestly can imagine an actual cult leader liking Taco Bell quesadillas. And you are the Ray Gill cult leader.
There you go.
Alright, I'm sorry that was off topic. I was just genuinely curious because I don't like Chipotle. It's not very good.
No, we gotta answer the real question here right now. Which one is better? What's the best fast food chicken place and why is it
Okay,
Popeyes?
okay. Wait.
Roy Rogers is also an acceptable answer.
No, Churches.
Oh, okay. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't been to Churches.
Cake, do you remember Churches, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, their biscuits are insane. So good. I can't even
We
remember
actually have one of those,
And
like really close to me.
yeah,
I mean,
it's probably by where the hotel because we had Churches when we were in Toronto.
Yeah, I've never been in there.
It's good, dude. Their biscuits are like honey glazed or something. Oh,
Ooh, that sounds good.
yeah, they were like insane. Okay, but did we have any other Beyblade stuff we wanted to talk about, or any news or anything?
No.
Oh,
I got nothing.
I think I forgot to mention earlier that I did buy the Legends Ray Gill 125 RSF.
oh, you got
recently.
that cool with the yellow RSF.
Yeah, the McDonald's RSF.
Ooh, that's sick though. That's cool.
Yeah, I forgot to mention it earlier, but yeah.
All right, well, if that's everything we have to talk about, this podcast has been brought to you by Swift MFB Beyblade Shop. The link will be in the description below.
Brought to you by Ray Gill. Use code SWIFT.
My only Ray Gill just sold. I'm sorry.
Oof.
Yeah. Maybe
High
I'll get
demand.
more. Honestly, like, I don't know if Foss has like caused a shift in like Beyblade buying, but every time I list a Ray Gill, it's usually a pretty fast sale. So maybe I should.
I've either like influenced the people, or like you know how people like sleepwalk and stuff and just don't realize it. Maybe I just like go onto Swift's Mercari and buy Ray Gill whenever you list it.
I do have one person who's bought like 6 Screw Capricorns for me, and I don't know what they're doing.
They want the best MF. And that person doesn't know you're actually scamming them because the second you get a good MF, some shit MF goes on their card.
No, Dan, no. I literally don't switch anything out. I don't switch anything out because like everything I get that I sell, I just keep it as is. I'm too lazy to switch it out. And okay, unless the face bolt sticker is like super perfect, then I'll if it's better than the one that's in my collection, then I'll switch that out.
You heard it here first. He's too lazy. Don't worry. He's honest.
Yeah, I can't mix up my selling Beyblades with my collection stuff.
He's too much of a slacker to scam you. You're safe.
Yeah, it's
a lot of work.
It's the true MFB player. So, but yeah, that's I think that's been a wrap on the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a pleasure having FriedPasta from MD. Fun fact: if you add an I in between M and D, you get mid.
Fun fact: if you like say Midwest but without the West, you get mid.
So basically, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have a great day. Peace out.